Going live. And we are live. Hi, guys, and welcome back to Reed's Readers with your host, Clinton Reed. And today I am joined with a special guest. I will let her introduce herself and give whatever she wants to give to the audience.
Thank you. I'm Sophie from In Sophie's Books, where I focus mostly on horror and thrillers.
Ooh, yay.
Yeah.
You would get so well along with our friends Dana and Nikki. I will have to send you their links. Speaking of Nikki's Bookish Coven, they both run her and Dana run a thriller book club.
Okay.
And
Nice.
speaking of the devil, there's Dana. Hi, Dana. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Karina. If any of you girls want to join us on the screen, I did send y'all the link. I know Dana can't, but if any of y'all want to pop in and join, that's fine. These are three of the four of the people I call the murder of besties, because
Nice.
they're all obsessed with a book series called The Ravenhood, which is like a romance series, and a group of ravens is called a murder. So they're the
Oh,
murder of
yeah.
besties.
Nice.
But that's neither here nor there. So, what did we think of Practical Magic?
For me, it's a bit all over the place. I wanted to love it, but I didn't. It's not to say it was a bad book for me. I give it 3 stars, but it wasn't something that I anticipated. What about you?
Understandable. I want to give it a 4 based on writing and stuff like that. But based on the fact that Practical Magic has been one of my favorite movies since I was a kid, this kept feeling like I had to give it a 5. So I ended up giving it a 4.5 to settle in the middle. And then it's like, it felt wrong not to give it a 5. It's one of
Yeah.
those books where you're like, yeah, it was boring at parts, but when you finished it, it like made you happy. So I'm like, you have to give it a 5. And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Karina, what did you end up rating it? And I know Nikki didn't have time to read the book because I forgot to let a bunch of people know that the live show was Saturday and not Sunday. Because my dumbass forgot that I work on the 15th of every month, no matter what day it falls on. Gave it a 3.5. So, in comparison to the movie, did we like the movie better or the book better?
I wish that I actually got around to watching it this time because I don't remember much of the movie. I was reading the book and was thinking, oh, well, this didn't happen in the movie, or I was expecting certain things to come up. Um, so, yeah, I was like, I need to rewatch the movie, but I just didn't have time before today.
I will say there are several differences in them, but I appreciate the differences. I will basically say the movie's better. It was more action packed and more happened. Like this felt drawn out at parts of, oh, we have to wait a couple of years.
Yeah.
And can we also talk about in the book the moment when Sally meets Greg? Is it Greg or Gary?
Gary.
Gary. Where she was like, I'm having a heart attack. And I'm like, really? And
Literally, I felt the same way.
I'm like, really? That's because in the movie, she casts a spell when she's a kid, which summons the man. Which, if she had a heart attack then, it would make sense because of magic.
Yeah.
What? Like, what was that? Got some comments. Really can't speak on the book because I didn't have a chance to pick it up, but I did watch the movie. Seasonal Vice for sure. Wait, Dana, was this your first time seeing Practical Magic? Let me know. Karina really enjoyed the book for what it gave, and the family bonds was her favorite part. This was my first time watching, and oh, it was Dana's first time watching, and would probably watch the movie again at some point. Wait, this is your first time watching? Okay. So, just saying, you need to add practical magic to your game now, Dana. Dana has a spin the wheel for TBR, but hers is different. She uses pop culture icons and movies and stuff, like Legally Blonde, Teen Wolf, Twilight, stuff like that, that each have different prompts attached to them. That makes
That
it more
sounds
fun.
interesting.
Makes it more
Yeah.
fun and interesting. So she can always add practical magic now. Um, Hi, welcome. It's hard to choose between the two for me. Story wise, the book is better. Okay, I will give the book does have a better overall plot than the movie. But again, Sandra Bullock. Can't go wrong with a Sandra Bullock film. Well, you can when you got My Name, whatever that one about Steve is. Oh gosh, if the movie was more action packed, then I think the book isn't for me. Okay, the book is it. There stuff does happen in the book, just the demonic possession isn't in the book.
I think the book has a lot of overly descriptive nature in the writing. So they tell you a lot of it, and there's so much to it. It's just told at you. It doesn't actually like happen in how I think.
Agreed. Um, I will say there are bits and pieces where I can see where like the movie picked this part from the book. The movie was like, oh, let's take this part and morph it a little bit more for television audience, and like because it felt like to me the movie with like the demonic possession and stuff, it was like, ooh, the craft did so well, we have to have something like that in it or
Yeah.
it's not going to do well. But then again, she also got the whole town involved, and in the book it was multiple different towns, and you follow the daughters more than the sisters.
Yeah, which I find quite interesting from the book
Same.
perspective. Yeah.
I thought she did it in the movie too. Yeah, she did it in the movie, but not in the book. Or wait, what? Hold on, Nikki. Whoa. How have we been friends for years, and this is your first time watching Practical Magic? Interesting. What? Am my entire group of friends have not seen Practical Magic? That
You think you know people.
hello. Okay, in the movie, she felt like she was having a heart attack. I think it was because she was scared they were going to jail. That and there was a magnetic pull between the two because they're soulmates. Because in the book, it makes it more apparent that they're soulmates than the movie does. Don't think it will make it to the will, but I love it. that it's so beloved. Ugh, my heart. Sandra Bullock is queen. We all love Sandra B. Wish we got to see Jilly's happy ending too in the movie. Yes, that is something that I felt like was lacking. And if they ever wanted to do a Practical Magic 2, literally there is a lot more in this book that they could bring to the movie.
Yeah.
They could give us Jillian and they could give us the daughters finding love with Scott goes to Antonia and is it Glenn? I feel like it starts with a G. It's not Greg. It's Gideon. Gideon for Kylie and Billy for Jillian. It just shows how much we love you that we watched it. Aww. I mean, the amount of things I've attempted to read and things for you guys. But no. Um, I have some banners. Okay. So, who was our favorite character of the book?
It's a bit of a tough question.
I think mine's Kylie.
That's who I was leaning towards whilst I was reading the story, because I feel like we've mentioned before, the book delves into those sisters, like the daughters' relationships, more than Jillian or Sally.
Hmm.
So I think having that favorite character being one of the daughters is kind of something that's forced upon you because you learn a lot more about them.
Hmm.
So for me, I think mine would have been Kylie, but I might go with Sally.
I can see that. I love Sally as well. Out of the two original sisters, I prefer Sally over Jillian.
Yeah.
Granted, I think I relate more to Jillian with my dating history and the amount of horrible men I've dated. Granted, I've never had to drug any of them with belladonna, so there's at least a positive there.
You're not completely like her.
Yes. Yes, midnight margaritas. I don't drink margaritas, but I'm down for some midnight margarita parties. And I felt like I wish the book would have had a scene. Like we got like one scene that the midnight margaritas scene in the movie was taken from, and that's when Jillian drags Sally out of bed and forces her outside to sit down and look at the stars while they're drinking margaritas at midnight. But the movie made it more fun. Um, so our thoughts on the writing.
Too much.
Too flowery, too much every day.
Too much like just talking at you.
Mhm.
I felt like showing the sisters doing the magic or the little rituals here and there would have made more sense. But it's just like thrown in there as
See,
like flowery.
that's like in the movie, we got to see Sally practicing lighting a candle without a match. And we
Yeah.
got to see her cast her love spell and stuff like that. That would have been like cool to see in the book.
Yeah. Like I was expecting that to be in the book.
Um, the sisters' bonds throughout the story in both the movie and the book made me cry. Bye, Dana. Have fun. I honestly thought there would be more magic with it being a witchy book, so I was surprised. Yeah, it was very quiet magic. Yeah, I'll agree with
Yeah.
that. That's like, I felt like all the magic. It was also never explained why the lavender grew the way it grew.
Yeah.
Like in the movie, it's because they brought him back to life with like the dead man spell, and then they buried him. So he was possessed by a demon, so it was demonic magic, making the roses grow. But in the book, it never fully explained why the lavender grew the way it grew.
Yeah. It's like it's expected. Like you're supposed to know that that's the reason. Yeah.
And what did we think of the plot? What little plot we actually had overall.
Yeah, I was like, wait, there's a plot?
The plot was them accidentally killing the one guy and then finding
Yeah.
out that she didn't kill him. He just dropped dead. The hell?
Yeah, isn't it like a curse by the ancestors that any Owen's women kind of, if they fall in love, they die?
See, I get that, but Jillian never heard the beetle. And I don't remember if the beetle was really fully explained in Practical Magic, like in the book, like it was in the movie. Because in the book, the only person that heard the death beetle was Sally with her husband. So I'm like,
Yeah, it's an interesting like plot hole, I
yes.
guess.
And then that makes me wonder: is Billy gonna die, and is Gary gonna die? Same with Sam and Gideon.
Yeah.
Or did they break the cycle because they met their soulmates? So, like, is it the soulmate that dies, or is like the soulmate the one that survives?
Yeah. It's questionable.
Yes, the beetle was brought up in the book, but it wasn't like explained because Jillian never heard a beetle, and the dude just dropped dead. Or it could be because they weren't in the same place long enough for the beetle to find them. I don't know. Too many plot holes. This is making me want to lower my rating the more we discuss. Okay, so do we have a favorite scene or like a least favorite scene of the book?
Um I didn't actually have a favorite or least favorite scene. I think that a lot of it for me was just really drawn out. So pulling like a favorite is like really difficult.
The only scene that I didn't particularly care for in the book was when the malt shop lady smacks Sally.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not Sally and Jillian's fault you're in the position you're in. So,
Yeah.
I think because Jillian wasn't in love with that jerk, it was just lust. True, true. Um, would we read another book by this author?
So doesn't she have other books in this series?
That was gonna be
Oh,
my next one. Was would you read another book by this author, or would you continue in this series?
that's going to be a no from me. I just can't handle the writing style. If it had been more like similar to the movie, how I was expecting the book to be, then I
Same.
probably would read more in this series.
I'm contemplating unhauling the one that takes place right before this one. Whatever the yellow one is, the magic of something that's over there in the corner. I don't feel like getting up to grab it. Um, you would read them because you already own them.
That makes sense.
Understandable, Karina. Um, and then the only other question that I really have was the movie better or was the book better?
See, I need to rewatch the movie.
Ah,
I feel
rules
like
of
the
magic.
movie's going to be better.
The more we talk about the book, the more the movie is just better
Yeah.
because you
From what
get.
I remember of it, it does seem so much better.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. So,
Yeah.
plus, I like the ants better in the movie than I did in the book.
Yeah.
But then again, I just really love Stockyard Channing. So, who was Aunt? Not Jet, the other one. Francesca. Why do I want to call her Aunt Fanny? But I will say the best scene overall is in the movie, and that's the Midnight Margarita scene. So,
It's
which
iconic.
wasn't in the book, but it's like
Yeah.
one of the most iconic scenes in a '90s film.
Very
Um,
true.
you enjoyed the character bonds, and because I am such a character-driven reader, I'm interested in reading the other books. See, I'm a character-driven reader. We know this with how much I love Green Creek with Wolfsong and all of them. But if I don't get more magic to balance out the characters, then it's not enough for me.
Yeah. I think, especially if you have that already in your head about the movie and that has all the magic in it, you kind of expect it to be in the book as well.
Mm-hmm.
Have
Ah, Francis, Aunt Francis. Hey, Kay. Kay loves this series as each book is a different generation. I like the book and the movie. See, that's something that worries me going into it because they're going to go further back and get more historical fiction. And I already have issues with the fact that this is more of a literary fiction than it is. Like, it's labeled as a fantasy, and I'm like,
yeah. It's
this
not
is
really.
more like, this is more literary fiction with magic thrown in.
Yes.
In the book, I love how Sally found love again. Agreed. And Aunt Franny. Any other thoughts we have on the book before we move on from the book and discuss the readathon? Figured
Um,
this isn't really the best type of book to discuss. Really.
yeah. It's not really the best book.
It took me 2 days with the audiobook and I had to speed up the audiobook.
Yeah.
The first book is about Maria, the second is the aunts, then the one same as the movie, and then the last one is the girls when they're about college age. Okay, I might read the one about the girls
Yeah, that one seems interesting.
because I like Kylie and the fact that Kylie is the only one that actually showed a lot of aptitude for magic with her premonitions and being able to see the dead guy underneath the lavender and stuff like that. So I might audiobook them. Who knows? We'll see. If I find an audiobook and I need an audiobook at the time to put me to sleep, I might.
Yeah, the perfect nighttime read.
Yes. Um. Well, then let's move on to. They changed the names of the girls in the movie. No, they didn't. It was Antonia and Kylie. I don't know if I'll be able to pick up the book. I feel like it might be a little too bored, and so I'd say I wouldn't continue or read anything from the author. Probably, Nikki, I don't really see you. Don't really see you jiving with her writing style. So, okay. The redhead is the oldest, but her name was not Kylie. I mean, in the book, it was the other way around. Antonio was supposed to be older, and Kylie was supposed to be the younger of the two. Because Antonio was 16 and Kylie was 13. I agree that the girl's order of birth was switched, where I thought Antonio was the oldest in the book, but the movie was reversed. I wonder if they did that so it would match Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman, because Nicole Kidman's character was older than Sally in the movie. So I think they made it with like, oh, the redhead is the older one and the brown mousy haired one is the younger one. It's like, eh, not really a big deal. But okay, so how is everybody doing with the readathon and thoughts on the prompts and stuff like that? Because I did kind of just like whip these prompts up like on a whim, and then later, and also find out that the quote's not even the exact quote. I was
What quote
waiting
is that?
the quote that I used for the prompts.
Oh yeah,
The always throw spilled salt over your left shoulder, keep rosemary by your garden gate, plant lavender for luck, and fall in love whenever you can.
yeah.
I was waiting the entire time in this book for that quote. And it is the last quote. And it's not even the full quote. It's always throw spilled salt over your left shoulder, keep rosemary by your garden gate, add pepper to your mashed potatoes, plant roses and lavender for luck, and then fall in love whenever you can. The hell does the mashed potatoes have to do with that? Been doing okay. I may not be able to get all the prompts done, but I have done two. Yay. Well, I know you're also hosting your own spooky themed readathon this month, which is all month long, and thankfully, all my books that I've read this week have counted towards your readathon as well. Um,
Nice.
yes, I used the movie quote. Mashed potatoes need pepper. Of course they do. It does. But how have you done with the readathon?
So I'm participating in like 4 or 5 different readathons at the same time. So having to get the books to fit all of them has been quite fun. But I think that I've managed to fulfill 3 of the prompts.
Okay.
The always throw salt over your left shoulder, which is horror, so that's literally all I ever read.
Yeah.
The plant lavender for luck prompt, which was a thriller, and obviously the group book, which is Practical Magic.
Um, when I finish Halloween Werewolf, because that one counts for spill salt over your left shoulder, read a horror or a paranormal.
Yeah.
So Granted, I did read a horror, so I've got both of those covered. But as I know, I've read, if I can grab a hold of it, The Haunting of Ashburn House.
Ooh, is that any good?
I enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 4 star.
Wow.
It's just something I've learned is haunted house stories are really slow
Yeah.
because it's more atmospheric. And I feel like I should not have read this right before Practical Magic. I went into
Plus,
2 books that took me 2 days with audiobooks because of how slow they were.
yeah.
But I will read more from Darcy Coates. So I am happy for that. Um, I kept Rosemary by My Garden Gate, which is read the oldest dark literature. I'm just going to count Practical Magic for that because I've owned
Why
it
not?
for years. Plant Lavender for Luck. I did the Mary Shelley Club, which I know Nikki DNF'd. So sad because I
Did you
really
enjoy it?
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This is a wild, wild ride. It's like Gossip Girl meets Scream meets a 90s cult classic movie. Not 90s, early 2000s cult classic movie, the Skulls,
Okay.
with Paul Walker and Joshua Jackson about a secret society at a college.
Nice. Sounds like a
And
wild ride.
it's and like the ending to this, I kept going, what? 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 Um, and I've read For Fall in Love Whenever You Can. I reread Scream for Us, which if you want a cute my ass. If you want a dark romance novella where a girl gets saved by a guy in a ghost face mask, a guy in a Michael Myers mask, and a guy in a Jason mask, and all they do is have sex all night
Yeah.
while committing murders and burning houses around them, it's a fun time. It's not cute. Not cute. Don't go into looking thinking it's cute. I was like, yeah, it's cute. Not really. Why did I use that word? So I'm like, I will state that this year's group book was a lot better than I did last year. Because
What was
last
last
year
year's?
I did the I Know What You Did Last Summerathon, and we
Okay.
did I Know What You Did Last Summer by Lois Lowry. No, Lois Duncan. There we go. It is my most hated book that I have read for a group book
Wow.
of anything. Because in the movie, a lot of action happens. In the book, she gets knocked out and everything happens while she's passed out. And
Oh.
that's how they wrap up the book is, oh, I saved your life. How do I know you saved my life? How do I know you're not the killer? Yeah, I know, Lois Lowry. My bad. I feel like that's an insult to the giver. I mean, comparing that to that. My bad. But I know. Okay, then go do that. Whatever. Sorry, husband texted. Just go do it then. But I know this is the last time I'm going to be hosting an October spooky kind of readathon because I'm going to revamp this one because I have less spooky books, more. These are the movies I grew up with.
Yeah.
that I didn't know were books. Um, but because Nikki and Dana have theirs, we'll always have a spooky-a-thon. Yeah? Huh? Okay. But yeah, because I know I have books like First Wives Club, The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood, or Devil Wears Prada, Legally Blonde. Not Legally
Yeah.
Blonde. Not Legally Blonde. I was thinking Sex in the City. I don't know why I said Legally Blonde.
They're a bit different.
A little bit. That all have adaptations that I feel like would be more fun to do, like in spring, and let
Yeah.
Dana and Nikki have the fall. If it's the Thriller Book Club, Thrills and Chills.
Sounds exciting.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
As everyone who's in the comments knows, my husband's needy. We are planning on continuing this every October. Yay! Which is why I'm going to take part in it every October.
I have to look this up. Is
They
it on
are,
Nikki's channel?
yes, Nikki's channel or Dana's, which is Dana Ella. They are the Stay Spooky-a-thon.
Okay.
And I really think you and Nikki's reading tastes should align. Nikki reads a lot of thrillers and horrors and stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely onto the horror side. Getting more into the extreme horror. Um,
Ooh.
so, yeah.
I mean, I've dipped my toes in some horror. Um, besides Grady Hendrix, I've read The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher,
Yeah.
and I think the one that has scared me the most, and it wasn't even the horror aspect of it, is oh crap, what is it called? Hold on. Ow. I am trapped. There we go. I was like, I got trapped by the cord. Is Goddess of Filth
Okay.
by V. Castro, which is about, it's basically the craft. Oh, well, okay. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires did scare the hell out of me.
I'm currently reading that one.
It, I'm a big slasher person, and like there's somebody hunting us down type person.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. And then this being an exorcism, but it wasn't even the exorcism part that scared me. There's a priest in here
Okay.
that gave me nightmares.
Why?
Because of some things he does in it. And he's actually the bad guy.
Okay.
Like, he is a serial killer bad guy type thing. And he's the one that gave me nightmares for a few nights afterwards. And it's like a shoot super short. I love the spine because it has a spine on the spine.
Yeah, that's cool.
Um, That and a really good YA slasher horror. Okay, it's not really a spoiler, Nikki. It's not really a spoiler, okay? Just he's not even like that big important of a character. Like at the moment that he's like introduced, it's just like he gave me the creeps. Ugh. But with Nikki and then with the Stay Spookyathon, their group book actually terrified the hell out of me. But I have a thing against clowns.
Oh, I love clowns
It's
in books.
it's Clown in a Cornfield.
Yeah, I've read that. It's good.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Yeah.
We're kind of forcing Dana to read it for the first time. That's why they made it the October book, is me and Nikki are forcing Dana to read it. So that we can discuss it on the 30th.
Nice.
But yeah, I've been trying to dip my toes into horror. I've realized I dip a little bit more into YA horror, like Delicious Monsters by Liesl Sandberg. It's a haunted house story.
Okay.
Super creepy. Um,
If I'm currently reading Mina and the Undead, which is a YA horror, which is about vampires. If you enjoy vampires.
yes. Oh, we love vampires in this group. Yes, we're all excited for Clown in a Cornfields. Yes, Clown in a Cornfield was Nikki's favorite book last year.
Yeah.
She's the reason why I picked it up. When she related it to Scream a little bit with a slasher, I went, bet.
Yeah.
Anything you relate to Scream, I'm down. Currently reading Empire the Vampire. Really, Nikki?
Wow.
Ew, can't wait to hear your thoughts. Empire the Vampire is one of my husband's favorite books. He typically doesn't read books like that. Typically, he reads the rainbow shelves behind us. If they're queer, he reads
Yeah.
it. I know his favorite thriller is Bathhouse. And I've attempted to read Bathhouse 3 times now.
Just can't get into it.
It's too much anxiety.
Yeah.
It's like because somebody's stalking him and it's like actually in his. It's too. Like my anxiety starts kicking in and I'm like, I have to sit it down.
That makes sense.
And then I really enjoyed Summer Suns
Yes, that's a
by
good
Lee
one.
Mandello. That one was one that took me by surprise. But yeah, you're enjoying it. With everybody here, what is the best book you've read this month? Not necessarily for this readathon.
For me, I would say Hunting of Alejandra by Fee Castro.
Evie Castro.
Yeah, which is why I want to pick that one up actually.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so good. Usually horror books don't make me feel any emotion, but I was close to crying after reading that, so definitely my favorite.
Okay, bet almost all my favorite books have made me bawl. Bet we will be adding that to the list. Amazon, here we go. Haunting. Uh, Let me do it this way. We're just gonna go to V Castro. There we go. It kept wanting to send me to the haunting of Adeline, and I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for here.
No.
We've already DNF'd that one in this house,
Yeah.
even though the girls are mad. Harina is either Serpent and Dove or God Killer. Ooh, that'll make Sterling really happy that you love Serpent and Dove. Campfire for a new book, and the finish line. Of course, the finish line for a reread for you. Um, or Pumpkinheads. Pumpkinheads is super cute. Um, well, if that makes up for it, then Nikki, you read Campfire. I DNF'd Campfire. You DNF'd the Mary Shelley Club, and I loved the Mary Shelley Club. So hey, works out. Yeah, y'all and Zaddy Meadows from Haunting Adeline. Um, add to cart. Because, see, I was curious about The Haunting of Alejandra. Just because I really like V. Castro's writing.
Yeah. It's definitely a good one to read.
Chewie apparently wanted to join.
Oh.
But yeah. So, any final thoughts on anything from anybody? Sorry this live show wasn't more engaging. I feel like it's mainly the book's fault.
Yeah.
Oh, Nikki wants to know, what are some horror recs that you would give us?
That's difficult because I don't really know what you've read. I would say because you're reading clown horror right now, the Cotton Candy Massacre by Christopher Robinson. It's so good. It's like a slasher killer clown, like were clowns.
Ooh,
It's definitely a good one.
I grab the phone. Cotton Candy Massacre.
Just having a look at my book stack behind me.
Oh, fuck that cover.
It's so good.
Oh, fuck that cover. Any horror novella Rex?
Um, The Wasp Factory by Ian Banks. That's like a really short book that is pretty dark. It follows a serial killer who kills his family, and but it's like a child doing it. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting short novella to read. Um,
You said the Wasp what?
Factory.
Oh, that is a creepy cover. I love it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Add to list.
Not to plug my channel, but I have more recommendations over there.
I have Sophie linked down below, both her Instagram and her YouTube are in the description. So when this is over, she'll be in the descriptions already. Wanted to read that for so long. You just convinced me to pick it up. The Cotton Candy Massacre.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear what you think of it though.
Like my spooky and bite-sized pieces. Of course you do, Karina.
Makes sense.
Okay, I'm gonna have to sit you down, dog. I can't really do what I'm doing. Thanks. I'll head over and check your channel out. I think you two would get along really well.
By the signs of it, I think so too.
Watching both of y'all's channels, like I went and watched some of your videos, watched knowing Nikki. As long as I've known, y'all are a lot alike in a lot of ways. Granted, Nikki reads far more romance than you do, but
Oh, I don't read any romance.
so yeah. Um, Nikki, Karina, Dana, and Kaylani from Kaylani Simply Me all run the Swoony Readers Book Club as well, which is purely romance.
Nice.
And then me and Hope from It's Hope's Books have our Mel Mel Romance Book Club, Book Addicts Anonymous. So we tend to read a lot of romance over here.
I can tell.
But we also like our thrillers and our horrors and our. I think the one that we steer clear away from the most is sci fi out of all of us. Because you've got a fantasy book club, you've got the two romance book clubs, the thriller book club,
Yeah.
there's a queer book club. We have all the book clubs over here.
One for everything.
Yes. Um, and Karina says she just subbed.
Yeah. Thank.
And Karina is our Instagram girly. She only has an Instagram right now.
Okay.
We're trying to convince her to make a channel and come join us on the dark side.
Yeah, she should do it.
Yes. Nikki says, I do love horror, so it'll be nice to see some Rex and watch Sophie's vids. Yes.
Yeah. I am doing some horror classics catch up. Not like a book club kind of thing, but just something that I've started doing. So if you're interested in reading Rosemary's Baby in November, I'm doing that for horror catch up.
Ooh. Is that. I have it confused with a country song. Because the lyric is Rosemary's granddaddy. Or grand. And Rosemary's grandbaby. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Um. That cover. Okay, I love that cover. The red one.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I like. Oh, hardback's the same cover. Whatever. Oh, ew. Go back. I want the red pretty cover. Thank you. Add to cart. We shall see about adding that to. Oh, it's psychological horror. Okay. We will see about adding that to November. I feel like my TBRs these days are all book club books. Yes, Rosemary's granddaughter spit an image of her father. Yes.
What song is this from?
Oh, what is the name of it? Get down. Quit freaking out, dog. It's a trash can you're hearing outside. Every time he hears the bang of the trash can lids outside. Um, oh. Rose. That would be Who I Am by Jessica Andrews.
Okay.
But it's like every time I hear Rosemary's Baby, I instantly think those lyrics.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I know you can't stay much longer, so we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. We'll probably do more things in the future. I'm more than likely going to be picking up Rosemary's Baby. It sounds really interesting. That's all I need is more book club books.
Yeah.
um, But yes, thank you guys for joining. Um, ooh, Karina says thanks for the discussion and nice to meet you, Sophie.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Nikki, Karina, Kay, and Dana for coming and joining us in the chat. Thank you, everybody who's going to watch this later. Thank you, Sophie, for joining for the live show. And Nikki says, nice to see you, Sophie. I think she meant nice to meet you. um, um, thank you guys. This was a fun readathon. I will catch y'all in the next video. And always remember to be fabulously yourself. Until next time, bye.
Bye.
End broadcast.